the new Parkway Theater, where good food, diverse entertainment, and community create a place for everyone. For showtimes and special events, check out www.thenewparkway.com. You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is our vernacular.
That is my Cuddy Quarter shout out. Also, anybody who says breaky or brecky
instead of breakfast.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell you.
Oh, it's a very Anglo term. Don't worry, I know Brandon. I've seen it. Brandon returned from Iowa, and he hates brecky. Surprise!
I hate it so much. And it makes me feel like, it's like, is that how white people look at us when we use slang terms? Like, I'm like, it just hurts my ears a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
You're being so dumb right now.
The fuck is wrong with y'all?
I gotta get on the cell phone for a second because the computer is a hard update. And you know the new computer don't work.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what it was trying to figure out what it's supposed to be cleaning up.
You talking about your computer right there already?
Oh, I didn't see you there. What's up, B+?
Pedro been on for about 2 minutes. He just had a full conversation with his wife, and his computer got a reboot. He didn't waste no time.
No, but it's crazy because I turned it on 15 minutes before you sent the link. It would not come on.
You gotta keep it plugged in. You got one of them Tobishas.
No, not that one. That computer comes on right away. With the other one, because it has a sound card and everything in it. I guess this one doesn't have a good sound card. The new one.
I feel like you've had that computer less than 30 days. I feel like you can still just go, hey man.
Yeah, I think it's fair for you to bring it back. Like, hey y'all, this shit is a piece of shit.
Hey, don't look at the search history. Don't look at the downloads.
Don't look at the no, that's the thing. I just put I put a lot of my business stuff on there with my. Well, I guess it's saved through Google. Yes.
That's what they're doing?
Yes.
Right now?
Yes.
Oh.
You want to be on the show? You can take my spot.
Hey, give her a phone. Let her sit in the living room and be on the show, Pedro. She could just chime in anytime she need to correct you.
Hey, you want to do that? That'd be funny.
She could just cuss you. She has free reign to cuss you out at any moment.
You want to be on the show? They shit and cut me off. All right, then be quiet now.
Oh man.
All right, go in there, make me a sandwich.
You like either go play in the WNBA or make me a sandwich.
Pick one.
Things you can do right now. Play in the WNBA. I'm gonna make me a sandwich.
That's bad.
All things are well in the world of Pedro. All right, as they should be in the world of Cap P-Funk.
Nothing out of the ordinary here.
Hey, where's Aaron?
You know that nigga just finished walking his dog. He's like, I'm gonna put this rice in this rice cooker and then reset my modem.
He did that an hour ago. What is he doing?
No matter what, Aaron, for all the listeners out there, if you ever hear Aaron complain about somebody wasting time, being late, or wasting his time, 90% to 95% of that could be attributed to Aaron always being late, wasting his own time. Might contribute a little bit. Just like when Brandon started showing up about 15 minutes after the time Aaron said he'd be ready.
You just gotta learn with him. Like,
you gotta learn. He's gonna tell you the time that he's gonna start putting lotion on. That means he's gonna be either butt naked or with his boxers on. He's gonna start doing full application of body lotion. That is the time that he tells you. That takes about 15 minutes for him to rub it in and let it kind of set in before he puts his clothes on. And then 5 minutes to put his shoes on, and then he's ready. So you're looking at about a 20-minute grace period.
And then don't tell him there's going to be any females there, because then he's got to put the Egyptian musk on.
Yeah.
That's another 5 day bets.
And then he's still mad you didn't give him enough time to put. He's like, man, did I miss the spot, man? See, I was rushing, man. You was rushing me. It's like, nigga, we 20 minutes late.
Dude, and I told you about this yesterday.
He could have paperless post RSVP 2 months ago. And he's still gonna be 20 minutes late, if not more. Anyway,
what are you trying to talk about today, Jared?
Vampire facials and non-compete clauses.
There you have about that.
Okay, so the vampire face thing is pretty hot, I guess.
Oh yeah, I just saw about it. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. We can talk about that just a little bit. And talk about that, and then maybe some college protests. No, we don't have to. I'll say that for my Cuddy corner.
I'm trying to figure out where I need to go with this Cuddy Corner shout out because Amanda Seals might be on my list right now.
You didn't like Amanda Seals on Shay Sharp's?
Oh my God. She's sounding like a dark skinned black woman. What is wrong with her?
She's always not been one to kind of, hold her thoughts. She's usually fairly thoughtful or articulate with this, so I respect it. But she does come off, I could say, and I have issues sometimes when you're speaking from a place of you feel right about something, you come off a little condescending.
Yeah, but she's doing it to the 10th hour. Everybody after her. Mm-hmm. She's making it seem like the whole world's coming after her and only her. Sorry, honey, if that's the case, it's got to be you, right? It's got to be you.
Well, I think that's what everyone that Shay Sharp has had on the show, they're kind of turned, especially once Cat Williams kind of kicked it off. Everyone's like, oh, you go on this show and you can start basically talking about whatever, saying your gripes and grievances are. Like, saying that's his now thing. It's like, hey, you come tell me anything. I don't even know what I'm talking about, so you just got to tell me. Maybe he's going to be like the Black Sports Joe Rogan, where he just kind of gets people on there and they just, instead of it being about whatever their supposed specialty is, it'll be people just bitching and complaining about other people in celebrity culture and their own drama. So, yeah.
People just go there and say, well, I don't know why I have all these altercations with people.
Aaron over here. See, Aaron, told you, Aaron.
I'm over here talking and shit through the mic. And then I noticed the cord ain't even plugged in. Jerry, how you going to play me like this, man?
And make sure your Zoom is using the mic and not something
I am. It's still using the right mic now. It wasn't plugged in. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound a little nasally or low. I don't know if you turn it.
Can you hear me?
Oh, he sounds loud.
Dave Chappelle said turn up in them headphones. He didn't say turn me down. Welcome back, B+. Welcome back.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Taco Pablo and I are here. We were just breaking down the common comings and goings of these two old Negroes on the podcast.
Talking about me and Pedro?
Yeah, one of y'all. Pedro, within the first 2 minutes of getting on this, coming online, had a full conversation with Joy, and then proceeded to say, I'm gonna have to switch over to my phone. My computer tripping is trying to do a full update.
Pedro computer updates more than anything. He updates more than the Channel 2 news.
It's like that person who was like tripping about really, really, really tripping about COVID, was taking a COVID test every day.
I.e. my father, i.e. Aaron Grayson Jr., who was using up every COVID test I sent him, and Pedro sent them a box of wipes. I sent him a box of wipes. I couldn't understand how they ran out of wipes so fast. He apparently was using the Clorox wipes in the house every day, even though nobody was entering or leaving. No one had COVID between him and my mom. They weren't even opening the damn door. But yeah, he was using wipes. Like COVID would just, man, I dreamt of COVID, so that shit popped up on the table.
Just think about when the AIDS crisis was happening, what people
Thank God Clorox wipes didn't exist then. He had me washing my dick off in the sink with him every night. Oh my God! I just realized, someone told someone I went to an event this weekend. It was a school event. And someone, Jared, Jared, I got to give this to Jared. Jared gives out the 510 podcast. You know how he used to say, listen to 510 to so many people. He never thought is this person gonna like it, and are they gonna spread it to the right type of people? I was at this event, and one of these people, Jared told, who loves the show, told people that I had to sit there and put all these qualifiers out after he tell them in front of me, like, hey, hold on.
Who was saying that?
Man, Jimmy, You know how he told Jimmy 2 years ago?
Oh shit.
Jimmy told Angie in front of like two other people. I'm like, Angie's like, oh, you guys got a podcast? I gotta listen to it. I'm like, oh, hold on.
Well, no,
Hold
I
on,
gave Jimmy Tran. Shout out to Jimmy. I'm saying this whole thing while here.
He loves it. He said he used it. He said it was great advice when he went to Ireland.
Yeah, he was going to Ireland.
Like, he went to some of the spots that Paul and them said. Jimmy loves it. Jimmy's a great fan. I give it up to Jimmy being a great fan. He might be spreading it to some people that might, got him looking sideways. And I
just
can't
don't think he's listened to
anymore.
all the episodes. That's the issue.
I can't use that as a reference anymore.
If you are traveling to Ireland, though, you should check out our 2021 Traveler's Guide to Ireland, a celebration of our St. Patrick's Day episode. We had a couple Irish lads on the show, and they gave us their good, the bad, and the WTF of Ireland if you're planning to travel there. So you can get some good places to go, the places to avoid, the bad, and the WTF, the interesting quirks or places and things that Ireland has to offer. So
speaking of, every time you give a shout out to the St. Patty's show, I think about one of my favorite bars in a rap song was on the Black Star first album. The Black Star got more than one album, Pedro.
They got what is that? It's released on Patreon or something. They got another album with Mad Lib. It's not good.
Anyway, one of my favorite bars in it was he's like, it always reminds me of Jared in the St. Patrick show where he said, I'm trying to get more green than that nigga St. Patrick. It just always stuck with me. It's been a motto of mine that hasn't come true.
All right. Well, y'all ready to start the show?
Ready to start the show, man. We starting the show like it was like this is the kind of talk we should have started the show with last week with that when we had that fight.
All right. Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the High Score 510 podcast. You can catch us at High Score 510 on the Instagram, the YouTube, and on the Twitter. Also, check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/the High Score 510. Also, check out our TikToks. If you check out our latest TikTok, you can hear Pedro's claims as to why he thinks I drive a Subaru, and also hear us break down the state of disarray that Tiger Woo hairline is.
Oh, that was bad. It made me feel good about mine.
And we are here with
this is AG3 coming at you faster than Rudy Gobert going to score a basket without dribbling the basketball.
What wasn't a travel?
Man, Brandon, that man took like 7 steps, dude. He slowed down and took more steps.
He just real tall, man.
He slowed down so he could take more steps.
All right. Well, here's a soundbite, Aaron.
We're getting closer to his return, and the closer we get to him, the faster things are going to happen. The faster the healings, the faster the deliverance, the faster.
I love Baptist Church. I love White Baptist Church too. They just go to a whole nother place. Southern Baptist.
That's one of my mother's favorite ministers. Actually, he's pretty good.
Which one is that?
I forget his name.
I don't know.
He's in Ohio.
We're a Joel Osteen family.
He's in Ohio. He's one of the people we used to watch all the time.
We used to watch Fred Price and Joel Osteen.
I used to ball at Fred Price's church.
All right, and we are here with
everybody's favorite truck driver, Captain P-Funk. And I just want to complain because I'm dark-skinned like Amanda Seales.
All right, here's your soundbite. If men were honest at weddings.
Zeus, take you, Danielle, to be the biggest fucking mistake I've ever made. With this ring that your ass didn't earn, I plan to forever go in debt. Baby, as I stare at you in this beautiful white dress, all I can think about are all the bad bitches I'm gonna miss out on because of you. I promise to snore loud and take all the covers. Piss on the seat, wall, and floor in the bathroom, and pretend to listen to you when you talk to me about shit that I don't care about. As your lawfully wedded husband, I promise to put up with your crazy ass as best as I can without shaking the shit out of you. I promise to hide as many naked pictures in my phone as possible, And as I stand here pretending not to regret the shit out of this decision, I can't help but to think about all my family and friends that told me, keep your heart, 3 Stacks. Keep your heart. Hey, keep your heart, 3 Stacks. Keep your heart.
You know what? I'm gonna have to say that might be the reason. That's from Tyrese. Come on, man. Cut off my whole third of thought, but I saw
Jesus, yeah.
You know what? I can't even say my thought now, Jim. I lost my whole train of thought.
In Tyrese
I had a whole
news this
thing
week.
lined up, and then I see it's Tyrese.
Okay, I changed my mind. Go ahead and get married to that woman. Jesus.
Oh, I'm loving Tyrese, man. Tyrese is, you know what? Tyrese is like the Flavor Flav back in the beginning of the reality shows.
Aaron, he's a reason for you to just have Instagram so you can just check what he posts every day. Dude, you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get, like I said before, you're going to get conspiracies. You're going to get black empowerment, misguided black empowerment.
Oh my God.
Sad, depressing relationship advice, sometimes even legal advice that is not technically legal to be given.
I agree with Tyrese on everything about marriage except the drama and the conspiracy. That's all. That makes any sense.
Did Pedro say he was mad because what did Pedro say with his intro? He was mad because he's dark skin with zits?
No, they said
dark skin like Amanda Seals.
Like Amanda Seals.
Oh, I was away from my computer. Sorry.
Pedro wants Amanda Seals to weaponize her light-skinnedness.
No, that's what she's doing.
Oh, no, she's weaponizing it.
She's just weaponized like a dark-skinned woman. That's the whole joke.
Come on.
All right. And we are here with...
Oh, hey, this is Brandon, a.k.a. Taco Pablo. Happy to be here. One day closer, today's moving to beautiful Sacramento.
Well, here's your soundbite, Brandon. This was going to be Pedro's, but I decided to give this one to you. This one's a good one, too. Hold on. Here we go.
I don't care about him taking my wife. That's nothing, Your Honor. What the boil down to is the pain and the anguish of this man in my face, in my business, asking my wife to fix him some chitlins, Your Honor.
This man is mad because he asked his wife to cook some chitlins. Question is, did she cook them in his house?
It sounded like she was going to make him at his house and let him come over and get some or drop them off.
That's what I'll be pissed about, because they make your house smell like shit when you cleaning them. So he's like, I got to smell the shit and I don't get the chitlins? I got a problem with that. It ain't about killing.
That's good old-fashioned Southern...
That is some Southern shit, man. I wonder, maybe his wife makes some good chitlins. That's some shit I never could stand. For the first time I ate them, I thought they were nasty.
Not fit for consumption.
See that booty hole. All right. And my name is Jared, aka DJ Art, with 2 T's for a double dose of that ting ting. The D is silent, so it's just Jart. And I don't know if I have a sound bite yet. Hold on, let me find it. I got irregular internet. I'll use my my hockey news as my soundbite, because hockey news needs to be about as long as my soundbite.
It is hockey playoff time.
All right, Gary Bettman is such a good GM.
The question that you're really asking is, was he losing a lot of money? You betcha, he was losing a ton.
Thank you for that. I didn't want to say that because I don't think, look, at the end of the day, fans don't really care.
I got it. I said it. You don't have to say it. Yeah. But no, he did what he had to do.
That's hilarious.
Shout out to the Phoenix Coyotes moving to Utah.
I didn't see that.
That's like, right Dude, and the owner knows better. He was like, "What are you doing?
Why are you saying I was losing hella money?" They're gonna be like, "Hey, you quoted us that you was making money."
You're right. Well, no. Well, I think the bigger question is, like, I think it was on mind for a little bit. Is like, can Salt Lake City support 2 wintertime sports franchises? Because they already got the Jazz.
At least for the people that think the Jazz are a little too colorful for them, they can go to a hockey game and feel quite content.
I would say it should thrive. It should thrive in Utah. I believe that's a good. That's why I thought they were going to go back when we moved here.
Well, there's also a major Winter Olympic training facility out there, I believe. Yeah. So you're gonna have.
Makes sense.
You can. I think it's built enough there to some degree where.
Problem is Salt Lake City don't even got 200 and they barely got 200,000 people living in it.
Yeah, well, hopefully
you're looking at the old GDP here, and that's not what Salt Lake City has anymore.
Were you talking about the greater Salt Lake metropolitan?
They got about that many Pacific Islanders out there, Aaron. What you talking about?
Yeah, you're right.
You ain't been in Salt Lake,
man.
It was traffic. I'm like, dude, go back to Hawaii. What's wrong with y'all?
Jesus.
Yeah, you're talking about 1.2. You're right. I don't know if they're gonna go watch a hockey game though.
They just need 20,000 people.
When I was in central Utah, there was more Negro. I didn't know it was that many Negroes there.
Well, you would think that Phoenix Coyotes would have lasted just as a place that people can go for 2 hours of air conditioning and cool space.
They need to play their games during the summer.
Yeah. The issue also is that hockey games are only 2 hours, so you're not really getting like that full. I think a good sporting event should last right up close to 3 hours, maybe go over 3 hours a little bit, and that's fine.
That's a long time.
No, that's not a that's not a long time. You're in kid dad brain, Brandon.
I agree with Jared.
If I can get 20 minutes out of this right here, this kid gonna be good. But it's nap time.
You know what, Brandon? I agree with Jared. We would take the drive. We would take the drive to San Jose, all the way to San Jose, which is, San Jose for a 7:00 game on the weekday, right? To go see like Kings versus Sharks, to see some good games. And we get there, and it just felt like we spent more time in traffic going to the game than at the game.
Yeah.
It's like,
but you guys are driving for 2 hours away. I'm saying, like, for an actual event,
we're driving for 50 minutes away.
I think a sporting event should not be longer than a movie. 2.5 hours max.
Well, don't worry, hockey ain't getting nowhere near that.
Yeah, hockey. That's for
hockey,
you get lucky if you get to 2 hours. I feel like
baseball.
Hockey is done in about 1 hour and 40 minutes.
Hockey, yes, that I agree with Jared, because there's basically like each team gets one timeout. I think now they get two. Now they get 2 timeouts.
It's stoppage
for the whole game.
The game just gets started right back up. It's like
gets started right back up.
The quarters are 20 minutes, and they probably last about maybe 25 minutes maximum.
I'm with Jared. You don't finish your food. I remember we went one of those days. Duck had all this free food, this and that. Couldn't take advantage of it because the damn game was over.
Yeah, right. You know, you get through your first you're like, oh man, you finally getting settled in. You're like, all right, let me get for this stretch run this last hour, maybe hour and a half, where I'm gonna be at a certain level. I might have one more drink, I might have a little more food, or I'm gonna plan it out. Maybe in 20 minutes, I'm gonna get a little bit more, and then for that last hour, I'm gonna slide into that hour 3 and be done and be having a good time and prepared to make the next move. Nah, man, hockey, man, you get into your first phase and you start to get comfortable. All of a sudden, get your ass up, game over. You're like, oh shit, man.
And they don't let you hang around.
And they closed the alcohol dispensers early too. I'd be like, man, y'all really. All right, in news this week, feeling like your skin's lost its luster? Well, no worry, because you can age like a vampire with a vampire facial.
Am I the only one aroused right now?
Unfortunately, you got to be careful where you get your vampire facials from, because you could contract some kind of unfortunate transmittable disease. It came out that 5 cases of HIV have been traced to a dirty vampire facial at a facility in New Mexico. What do you guys think about that?
No, that was just a regular facial if it came from New Mexico.
Oh God, man!
Nothing irregular about that.
You don't go to New Mexico to get a vampire facial. You go there to get turquoise or meth. That's what you're in New Mexico for. Turquoise, meth, or a hot balloon ride. Nothing else.
Well, apparently, I thought a vampire facial is one thing, but I said, how are you going to get this mythical being unless they are real? Conspiracy brother.
They trying to find somebody to get a dick to.
But it turns out it is not a vampire giving you a facial per se, but it is you injecting plasma from your blood directly back into your face to make it rejuvenate and look young and full of bluster.
I want to know how many people went on P-Hub looking for that in the categories. Like, shit, that shit out now, vampire facial? Come on. Hopped on P-Hub looking for it. Like, shit, that shit out. They doing that in New Mexico? Not allowed in L.A. or Vegas?
Man, I didn't think vampires stayed in New Mexico, man. That's a dangerous spot for them.
It's inhospitable. Exactly. It's like,
yeah, man, that's what happens when you get to like a 6-year community college student in a biology class, man. It's like, oh, you know what you do if I just take blood out of my arm and put it on my face, I can stay young.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it sounds as though this clinic, just mislabeled vials and not necessarily the cleanest practices. And
sound like they were using the same needle, dude.
Maybe that, or maybe they were not using the right people's blood.
It's a needle when you do a vampire facial. It's a needle.
Mm-hmm. I know, but I'm saying the vials were mislabeled and did not seem to be organized. So it could have been like, hey, I think this is patient number 4's blood.
They was using the same needle he was shooting meth with.
These cases stem from a 2018 unregistered or unregulated spa, and it's unfortunate. So I guess you got to be careful, with some of these extreme cosmetic procedures. Got to make sure you're going somewhere that's regulated. That's why regulation could be important, y'all. Just put it out there. Ding. Anyways, so would you guys ever consider taking your own blood plasma and injecting it in your own face to, get rid of some of those wrinkles or make yourself feel young again?
I mean, I wish I could go back and get some of my own stem cells, get my back working right first. About how my face looks.
AG3, would you get some a vampire facial hairline procedure in Turkey?
No, I'm 100% with Brandon, man. Give me some stem cells so my back working, man. Forget the face. It can get old. It can look old as much as it want. I need to be able to move my back. I can't even dance like Genuine no more. I'm talking about how Genuine dance now, not how he danced back then. I'm talking about I can't dance. I can't even do that now. I can't even do that.
You can't jump off the stage without falling.
Yeah. He could do a Kid Cudi. He could do a Kid Cudi.
That's the sad part. The thing I can do now is Kid Cudi on the stage. I can't do no Kid Cudi and Ozzy Osbourne. There's only 2 people I can replicate on the stage.
I don't understand how Genuine's knees started knocking like Kenny Smith. What happened there?
He was a lot older than we thought. He just looked good.
Well, in other news, the Federal Trade Commission came out with big news this week in banning non-compete agreements nationwide.
Today, the FTC has finalized a rule that will eliminate the vast majority of non-compete clauses in people's contracts. A non-compete clause is a provision that basically prevents people from taking a job with a competitor or starting a competing business, usually within a particular geographic area and for a certain period of time. So around 30 million American workers are covered by a non-compete.
The incredible number of non-compete clauses for ordinary people to keep wages low.
And so we're talking about fast food workers, security guards, nurses. We're talking about engineers, journalists, veterinarians. These are really people across sectors.
All right. So the Federal Trade Commission finally doing something good, it sounds like. What do you guys think about them ruling or banning non-compete agreements?
It helps people. So I guess if I got this right, it's that way people can get back to work, right? Is that what it does?
No, essentially it's so people can stay in the same industry, right? So like if you, let's say, so it's like you work for a trucking company and they say, hey, like you could leave, but you can't work for another trucking company for 6 months after you leave.
Right.
Like basically you're basically pushing somebody out of the industry. Like, okay, I just can't work for 6 months if I decide to leave. So basically it will ban those kind of practices.
Which I never thought, well, I mean, I know those contracts, they usually get their upper salary contracts. So to me, that's a law that doesn't really kind of like suits normal people or people in the lower class. It just benefits people that already make money, in my opinion.
It does have a big impact on apparently healthcare workers. It said between 37 and 45% of physicians are affected by non-compete clauses. So they say it can create a consolidation of basically resources and workers at bigger hospitals, for-profit hospitals versus nonprofit or smaller hospitals.
In that term, I understand it needed to be changed. We need all the health care workers we can get.
And so, it was one of those things where it also was a way that they could, if they knew you were signing the non-compete clause, with that leverage, they could steadily lower the wages that they offer to people who are signing with them. So it makes it to where they can't necessarily, like, you're not going to be challenged by an outside worker or somebody creating their own work. It sounds like it's going to get caught up in the courts regardless, but it at least is a good, I think, standard to put out there that, like, in this open market of America that they call it, this capitalist, market, non-complete clauses seem to be a manipulation for the powerful to retain leverage over the working class and the labor force. So fuck non-competes.
I think, well, in some situations they are good just because, like, when you hire somebody and, like, you train them, they work for you, they know a lot about your business.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, let's say, for example, for a sports analogy, let's say you play for the Niners. Mm-hmm. You get cut on Monday. The Dallas Cowboys count you on Tuesday. Hey,
the NFL doesn't even have non-competes, and that's really one-sided.
People like worry about that kind of stuff. Where a coach leaves you in the middle of the season, he goes play for the team you're going to play for, play against in the playoffs or whatever, like those kind of things. And, like, I think you're just going to see a lot more.
I think corporate espionage is a thing that you can get charged for too. So, like, if you can prove a case that somebody came to work for you to steal information, there's already corporate espionage acts. So
all you do is do enough to get fired, though. And the way these tech companies are laying people off, like, you could get caught up in that.
Yeah, but
very easy.
If they get fired by you still got a track record on where they go next. You could still find that out. So, like, you find that out, and then you report to their person, and if they're like, "Oh, we're good with it," then you be like, saying, was this their plan all along? Or if there's some kind of,
it happens. I know that's why this mostly happens because in the tech world, in the engineering, I can see both sides of it. Because because it's people steal technology. Elon Musk right now suing, like, all the people he laid off. I forgot who he was suing. They took the technology. Was it to Ford or to Hyundai? One of the engineers. And because of that law there, that non-compete law, he was like, "Hey, man, he's got all our patents and everything, taking it over to Ford or taking it over to Chevrolet, whoever."
Taking all that info to Plymouth, Pedro.
Exactly.
We're coming back. We back, baby. Yeah. Nah, but it works both ways, right? So people like these people have to think twice before they let somebody go, whether it's actually something they need to do, or as opposed to, like, are we trying to cut costs because it might end up costing you more to, like, let them go. And then,
well, there is the thing where a lot of companies already have the thing where, like, if you come up with an invention or anything that you like, university did that when I worked for them. Like, if you come up with anything that you do and create while working for them, it's on work hours. And even, like, there was language where it was kind of obscure of, like, if it's non-work hours, they have a right to trademark, or, it's their property basically. So they already have that. Now, if you want to not allow somebody to have the opportunity to climb the monetary ladder or find a better job, whether it's in the same field or something slightly adjacent, like, that is an issue that I think it's a manipulation of the power in the system, and it's something that should be deconstructed in that way, because it serves only to further benefit the fact that they already have the benefit of the contract in general. So I just think it's one of those things that will mean a lot to a lot of employees or workers. Shout out to my boy Soul Raider. I know he works security and for a hospital, so he's part of probably a similar union, man. I hope y'all get your money, playa. Well, in other news, don't worry about an airline canceling your flight or delaying it. They gonna owe you some money. Brandon, I did not read up on this as much as I should have. So can you please detail the story on the ruling, or the rule that came out this week about airlines being able to screw passengers over?
That's it. So here's the back behind the scenes of the show. I usually send a list of things out like we should talk about on the show. Now, 95% of the time we talk about none of it. and the other 5% of the time he just surprises me that, like, oh shit. I closed that tab.
I like to keep Brandon on his toes.
You brought the nunchucks.
All right. Well, so a couple things. Basically, if your flight gets delayed by a certain amount of time, or if your flight gets canceled, like, you should be able to get a cash refund, not just like a airline credit anymore. So require automatic cash refunds when flights are canceled, delayed, or significantly delayed, or if your checked bags are significantly delayed. I guess they have like 12 or 24 hours to get you your bag, or they owe you a refund for basically your bag fee.
They don't have a bag fee like Southwest.
Well, I think they do owe you like a set amount though. These are very important rules. Shout out to first of all, shout out to Pete Buttigieg. You should not be president. I'm going to say that you should not be president.
If he can if he can hold these airlines accountable for some of these fees, bro, I am all with it. He can be my president. He doing more than Joe Biden right now. Giving more weapons and aid and not doing a damn thing.
No, I think he's good where he's at. Mayor Pete, you keep doing your thing, man.
We need Mayor Pete in the White House, a beautiful homo white man that can unify our great country.
Yeah, I don't need nobody lighting ass.
Yeah, I think. Well, you got to think about it. This is all Southwest's fault when they had like that big computer glitch last year.
Oh! You telling me, Brandon? I was stuck in LA, running out of diabetic medicine.
Oh damn!
I was starting. I split my pills up into 3s.
Aaron almost died because of Southwest. God damn it!
I almost died because my sister Avis was gonna kill me and told me I need to come back up here and get my dog from her. Man, yelling, and we got in an argument over the phone because she's telling me I found a rental car that'll cost this much. You should drive up. Telling her how the 5 was closed. The Grapevine got closed down. We got in an argument. Southwest owed me for that alone. Then I had to buy a JetBlue flight to get up here.
Aaron, how many therapy sessions did that take before you were able to get past that? Because you could charge that to the airline.
Exactly. I need to charge on that.
Yeah, you talk about splitting up your diabetic pills, but all you need to do is stand next to the McDonald's at the airport, find the person with the biggest size shirt, and be like, "Hey, let me get a couple of your pills." That's all you have to do.
Come on. And that person gonna start slanging it.
In sports news, it is the NFL draft. And it was an action-packed 3 days for some teams. Not so much for others, like the Cowboys. But I want to know, what are 1 or 2 takeaways from the draft that you noticed? And were there any surprising picks or, how do you think your team fared? Yeah.
So can we just skip over the surprising piece and go straight to Atlanta and figure out what the hell they were doing?
That's the only surprising pick.
Oh, yeah. And before we get to that, Brandon, did you hear the anthem that Colonizer Sam, friend of the show, sent for AG3 soundbite last week?
No, I did not hear this.
Oh, before we get to the NFL news, let me just cue this up for you.
If you're a Christian who still watches pornography, this song is for you. 'Cause I was once an addict to pornography, till I was crucified with Christ on Calvary Street. There was hope for me, there's hope for you. I'm a sinner, I was saved by grace. It was choking me, it's choking you. Death is nearer than a razor blade, razor blade.
He's choking something for sure.
Shout out to that dude, man. I'm happy.
I don't think Aaron. You say, in which tense are you saying Aaron is choking? Because
I will say that that porn addiction is a real thing. I've been in like group chats or whatever. You see a lot of people like try to watch porn at work. Like they just be doing the like computer program and stuff, and like the third screen got some irregular on it. Like you got an issue with yourself if you just like casually do this stuff. Dude, I've been at the library, not even homeless people, just regular people who look like they have somewhere to go home to, just up there looking at
was
pictures.
one of them Duck?
Oh no, yeah, Duck. No, see, Duck wasn't an addiction. Duck was just being cheap and lazy. He's like,
no, I'm talking about for the library.
I can watch this, and I don't have to buy Wi-Fi. I can watch this on someone else's.
That was a terrible song about it. It was terrible song about it. Like, terrible sound quality.
That's what I said. The song is terrible. How's it gonna help? Like, man, at least hit me off with the good song.
No, yeah. I didn't see. Did anybody see the? I guess the guy that got caught masturbating on Zoom. He went back to like Fox or CNN or whatever.
Oh yeah, CNN. Jeffrey Toobin. He Toobin himself, man.
Yeah, they reintroduced him.
They reintroduced him.
If they don't know where you've been, during the pandemic, you started wanking it during a Zoom meeting. You didn't realize you were still on camera, and they fired you. You stepped down after that. All right. Anyways, back to NFL news. Brandon, what was something that you noticed from the draft, and how did your team do?
You know what? I don't really have a team right now, but I did notice that Malik Neighbors did not feel like going to the New York Giants. I saw a couple clips in his interviews. Like he really thought he was going to San Diego. He was like, I'm going to San Diego, play with Justin Herbert. We're going to be rocking out in California. And then he got drafted by the New York Giants, whose quarterback currently is Daniel Jones. And he was not initially the most excited to go there.
Danny Dimes just needs a number one. He just needs a number one.
Just needs number one and a new neck.
And he also needs to take a sedative because the boy was acting like he had just snorted a couple bumps or was on some real strong pre-workout.
Yeah.
he had that Adam Gase wide-eye syndrome. Happens though.
Yeah, but other than that, man, I was surprised like it took so long to take a defensive player off the board. Number one, I didn't think all three quarterbacks were going to go 1, 2, 3 like that.
Oh yeah, and breaking news: the Patriots drafted Drake May, the rapper, the artist, formerly known as quarterback Drake May from UNC, with the 3rd overall pick.
Can we talk about this? And I want to talk about it with Aaron.
The curse of UNC quarterbacks.
Do you think people are looking at Mahomes and being like, "Oh, we got to get one of these half-breed quarterbacks"?
Is Drake May a half-breed?
No, Drake May pure white.
I know. No, I'm not talking about Drake May. I'm talking about like how all these quarterbacks just went in a row. Like nobody was thinking about no other positions.
I think there's only
a lot of holes in the
mixed
offenses.
race, though, Pedro.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of holes in these offenses. No, you didn't. Did you watch the second round? 3rd round, 4th round, 5th. They was
Spencer Rattler.
Everybody was mixed.
Spencer Rattler went in 3rd round, but there after that, there was like no rounds on quarterbacks for a while.
No, after a while, then
there was a lot of mixed players. It was a lot of mixed players. I mean,
a lot of mixed. No, every quarterback was mixed. Even who?
I haven't seen any other quarterback get drafted, Pedro, and I was watching that.
Who's the dude that got his leg broken out of? Where did he go? Oh, he went to the Jets.
Oh, Florida State quarterback.
Yeah,
Florida State, but he's straight black.
No, I don't think so.
Look his ass up, man.
I don't
Wait,
think
what is
so.
his
I
name
think his
again,
mom
Brandon?
is white.
Travis. There's something Travis.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
God damn it.
But even though I'm not talking about that in general, but like everybody in the first, there's like 3 or 4 quarterbacks went first.
Now we got to do the whole 23 minutes.
Is that right? Yeah, something crazy. It was something crazy. Like JJ McCarthy went. I'm like, this dude didn't even throw the ball, and they drafted him.
He at least makes sense. The one that didn't make sense, really. Well, we all know the Michael Penix, but I mean, he should have still went early. The one that didn't make sense is the dude Bo Nix.
Yeah, Bo Nix. That's what I was
Bo Nix made no sense going to Denver. Good luck,
Jordan Travis. What's the name?
Jordan
Travis. Let's look up his family.
I think his mother is Caucasian.
Hey, Pedro, this is the way the world is now, man.
The Ravens took Devin Leary from Kentucky. Now, based on the photos that come up in Google, there's some questions there about some deep history there, like sort of in a Vincent D'Onofrio sort of way.
Yeah, I just thought the draft, well, in general, I don't really know how my team did or your team did, Jared. It was like your team picked a bunch of Division 5 players.
It chose a bunch of big beefy Negroes. That's what they kept bringing.
I was so sure they were gonna get Cooper DeJean. I was so just certain. Like I was like, Jerry Jones got one. Like I'm pretty sure somebody had to talk about that shit.
Yeah, but it just seemed like I'm like, God, just ease up. A lot of y'all had holes in the offensive line. You had holes in defense. And then here we go with Atlanta. You just paid this beautiful white man all this money, and you go right behind him and pick a quarterback. You could have got anybody. All these quarterbacks that
I
on the
don't
market.
see it as that bad. I mean, it was kind of like, yeah, they got some holes they could fill. But I mean, what if they draft someone that's a bust, right? And they pass up on the future of their quarterback? For me, it's not a big deal. I mean, that was the whole issue with the Patrick Mahomes. Fools were mad because they had Alex Smith, who just guided them to one of the best records in the league. He went to the playoffs. They went to playoffs 3 straight years under Alex Smith, or 2 straight. They were 2 straight. The year before that, they were 9. 3 out of 4 years they went to playoffs under Alex Smith.
The only difference is like Alex's contract was up the next year. Like he had like 1 more year left.
Yeah.
As opposed to just giving somebody 4 years.
Yeah, but still.
So number 1 was Caleb Williams to the Bears. Commanders went number 2, Jaden Daniels, quarterback LSU. That's not a surprise. Drake May, a surprise.
So Pedro Cano.
I'm not surprised with Drake.
Caleb Williams have black.
I'm surprised at JJ McCarthy.
Okay, yeah, but so then you have Marvin Harrison going to the Cardinals.
About that for a long time. The Minnesota, the coach, the way he coached, they're like he fits.
Yeah, Marvin Harrison going to the Cardinals. Joe Alt, offensive lineman, going to the Chargers.
That was a hell of a player.
Malik Neighbors, wide receiver to the Giants. Titans select O lineman J.C. Latham from Alabama. But then you got the Falcons, threw everybody for a loop by drafting Michael Penatone Jr. from Washington QB. They guaranteed Kirk Cousins $100 million. Is a 4-year, $180 million contract, right?
Only the first 2 years are guaranteed.
So it's a 2 years guaranteed.
I mean, but if they cut him, they still owe money to the league.
No, it's gonna be a lot of dead cap space.
Yeah,
but I mean,
I thought it was a little bit. I thought they messed. So here's my take: is that the Falcons messed up in the first place by signing Kirk Cousins to that ridiculous contract. I don't think it was like so ridiculous where you're like, oh man, you're paying this dude elite money now or on par. The thing that Kirk Cousins is good at doing, he's just saying, I'll take right around that middle point of what the quarterbacks are getting, like the upper mid. Just give me that money. He's not trying to always push to get more, and so he gets these kind of friendly contracts. But this team, the Falcons, I don't think are good enough to be like making any noise in the playoffs. And
you see how weak their division is here?
Their division is weak, but I don't think Kirk Cousins is the quarterback that's gonna, make the difference for them.
I got a question. Who's better quarterback in their team right now? Kirk Cousins or David Carr? Derek Carr.
That's a tough one. Okay, I take Kirk Cousins over Derek Carr every day because Kirk Cousins doesn't throw his teammates under the bus.
Kirk Cousins got weapons too, Jared. He got weapons, and people seem to like him. Like I say, he's a likable guy.
Yeah, I get that. But they messed it up by signing him.
It's not like they signed him to be shitty. They signed him.
But to my point. Before we get off on the Kirk Cousins hate that I have, and I'll hate on him. But
you got on the Kirk Cousins hate. We're trying to bring it back. We're trying to bring it back.
Okay, all right. What I'm saying is that you sign a guy, he's in his mid-30s, he's aging, he's coming off a major injury, he's proven not to be a dude that can carry a team when it comes down to it. He's not that kind of player. Yet you pay him this money and you lock yourself in, which a big strategy for a lot of teams is to get a young quarterback. If you're a depleted quarterback and there's a prospect you like, get a young quarterback, have him for 4 or 5 years of control at a very reasonable rate, and you have money to spend everywhere else on your team. The Falcons weren't good enough to say. The Falcons weren't good enough to say, "Hey, we're a quarterback away, a mediocre, non-leading quarterback to take us over the top right now. So we're going to give up all that money, and now we're not going to have the money to make the team better around it."
Sometimes that doesn't work either, though.
I'm not saying it works. But I'm saying you see a lot of teams do that. And
they also got a black head coach. He has 2 years to get this done.
There were prospects for them to say, hey, we're going to look at it as a draft instead of it's about the money of it. You allocated $180 million of your next 4 years cap to your quarterback. This team has some other young guys that they might want to try and keep that are going to come up for contract. In that time, this contract could stand in the way of you retaining some of your own depth. So you better draft really, really well now.
Their team is really young, Jared. They still got control of these guys for another 3 years. The oldest one will won't be up for 3 years. That's what's his name? Kenyon Drake. All right, what's the wide receiver name?
No, it's
Drake London. He's a second round pick, though, I thought. So he'll be up in 2 years. If he's a second round pick, he's up in 2 years.
No, he was first round, wasn't he?
He might have been first round.
First round. He was a first round pick.
Okay,
so
let's see.
So you can have him for up to 5 years.
First round,
picks ain't gonna
overall.
cost you that much money because he hasn't really produced yet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you figure the running back they drafted last year, Bijan Robinson. Now you got 4 more years of service at running back year, so you can spend the money. Don't forget, NFL also has a bottom to the cap. You have to spend the money. So here's the thing.
And no matter who they sign, if they sign James Winston, if they sign anybody, they were at least pay that person $25 to $30 million.
Yes, they were still going to make close to it. And then here's another part you got to realize this, Jared. Raheem Morris on his first go around in Tampa Bay, the one thing he never had was a quarterback, a decent quarterback. He didn't. He was always and they couldn't find one in the draft. They were just where they were drafting at because they were semi good. They were a playoff team. So I agree with him. This is your opportunity to grab a quarter. If you're a playoff team, you don't have an opportunity to grab one of the top quarterbacks. And Atlanta, in that division, anybody's a playoff team. Once you make the playoffs, you're not going to be in position to grab a quarterback, right? Yeah. And Kirk Cousins is good to keep you hovering around 8-9 wins, 9 wins by himself, right? Yes, he's not going to outshoot Mahomes. All
right, so here's my thing. He's not
going to outshoot Stafford, right?
They thought the prospect of Michael Penix Jr. was good enough to draft in the first round. Well, so that means regardless of regardless of who they had, they would have been good to draft Michael Penix Jr. with the first round pick.
I told you this. I said this before. So they drafted him because he's the first brother to do the whole combine in a do-rag. In a city of Atlanta loves that shit. They love do-rags.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be the thing that threw me for a loop is not that they drafted Michael Penix Jr., was that they paid Kirk Cousins all that money and they're locked into it. But when you explain it that way, that makes a little more sense.
I did lose a little sleep because at some point I'll like get ready for bed. I was like, why the fuck did they do that? At some point I was getting ready to go to sleep.
And it interrupted your train of thought in Zen mode at the time.
The funniest part was like the GM like talking to Arthur Blank after the pick. So what I'm saying is like we were here on him, and look, he's like he might not have a job for very long, but
he might not.
Yeah, because he needed to run that by the owner before that should happen. Because Arthur Blank's been the owner for a while. He seems like he's sort of hands-on, like he knows what's going on with the team. Probably should have ran that by him. Like, hey man, what we think about
Belichick wouldn't have made that pick if he was still there. If they had
in other news, white girlfriends were still a presence and being more effectively boxed out by family and moms this year than previous.
And they didn't spend enough camera time in the households, if you ask me.
You know what? They get a little too much into these people's backstory. I'm okay. I don't need to know that.
They cut to him.
A kid's brother died while they were playing outside, getting struck by lightning, or that a dude's mom was in and out of rehab and he was up for adoption at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of stuff. That's a little.
I mean, that's what gets you invested in these players, man. Like,
you need to do more of you see what's going on with the quarterbacks. Maybe they're trying to promote more crossbreeding.
It is the NBA playoffs. It is the NBA playoffs. And apparently, things ain't going well for certain teams. Apparently, for New Orleans, it's going so bad that Chuck said they don't even deserve a regular vacation. They need to go on an irregular vacation.
Disappointed in New Orleans. Where they going, Chuck? Galveston. That dirty ass water. We're not even gonna send them to Cancun. We're gonna send them to Galveston where that dirty ass water be washed up on the shore. You people think they're in the beach. We y'all gonna send y'all to Cancun. Y'all drive y'all quit. Drive your ass down to Galveston.
What's funny is Ernie can't stop laughing. That's what's funny.
Come on, they didn't even try, man. No, we're not getting them no plane ticket to the beach. We send their ass to Galveston, Texas, right where that dirty water washed up on the beach. They can't even get in the water.
What made that funny is Ernie couldn't stop laughing. Ernie always tries to be professional, and he couldn't stop laughing.
So that's what makes Shrek the greatest head dev.
Well, Galveston is known for two things. Number one is Beyonce. Number two is Juneteenth. But Chuck had to eat some crow and issued an apology to the city of Galveston, Texas, because apparently the Bayhive came at him.
I don't want the Beehive and Jay after Chuck. Those, I apologize. I do not want the Beehive and Jay after me.
So how do you like Galveston now? It's beautiful.
We're not going there.
When you go on vacation, you've got a chance.
Hell no, I ain't going on vacation.
You've got a chance to wipe the slate clean here.
I would go to Galveston. Let me tell you something. That water's so dirty, I'd rather go to San Antonio. I'd rather go to San Antonio with them big old women. No, I'm not going to Galveston. I want to go to the beach down in the river walk and watch them big old women walk around San Antonio.
That tell you how bad San Antonio been in a while, because I ain't heard him say anything about San Antonio for years. Why we calling Greg Popovich the greatest coach of all time? This motherfucker ain't been in the playoffs, so I can hear a joke like that in years.
No, I didn't call him that. I don't know who said that. Anyways,
the damn Warrior fans call Greg Popovich.
No. It's me appreciating basketball. Aaron, you should appreciate his style of basketball. Anyways. What is it? What's going on in these playoffs that's got you shook, concerned, or intrigued?
You go ahead, Aaron. You're our resident NBA expert.
You don't sound like it the way fools be arguing with me, Brandon.
What got you shook, concerned, or intrigued?
Phoenix, Minnesota was the only surprise to me because Phoenix swept them during the year. Swept them, and no game was closer than 13 points. Minnesota struggled with Phoenix. They struggled because of the jump shooters, to this and everything. So I guess that's the only surprise I have, that how Minnesota just handling them. My intrigue, Dallas Clippers. I think that could go 7. I think that'll be the only first round that goes 7 will be Dallas Clippers. Today looked good. I think I like watching it. I'm intrigued. If Kawhi's out for the rest of the series, I think Clippers might be more deadlier with Kawhi out, to be honest.
Right. Yeah, it looks
less
like
predictable.
He slows them up. Yeah,
he does. He's not as athletic. He's not as mobile anymore. James Harden can still get out and run and, and pass and hit lobs and hit people, hit Terrence Mann, hit people running with him. With Kawhi, it slows up the game. And they look good. They look good without him. My one concern is not the Lakers, because I figured they just delay it in inevitable. I've never seen I ain't never seen so many Laker fans mad after a game was won. I had a Laker fan, Jay Aggs, call me more upset that they won, talking about I was ready to move Darvin Ham out of here. Here's a crazy stat from that series. The Lakers have led 75% of the time in the series so far. 75%. So it's something crazy where it's like 100 and something minutes, 10 minutes has been tied. And then the Nuggets have only led something like 12 minutes or something crazy like that, right? It's all at the end of the game. And that just tell you the team's not deep. They ain't got no coach, and they got a lot of problems, the Lakers. That's the intriguing. Jay Agg said when they lost that big lead, Darvin Ham didn't call one timeout. He figured that Darvin Ham was going to trade him in somewhere. I told him he's probably going to find a Chuck E. Cheese they could trade him in, get the X-ray glasses or some shit, his dumb ass. The concern will be the Milwaukee Bucks. They're the only team that will lose in the first round. Them and Phoenix Suns, that if they lose in the first round, that they had the most disappointing seasons.
Yeah.
Right.
Breaking news. We got footage of Darvin Ham's, I think it was his game 3 halftime speech.
No, this could be bad.
Okay, so when we're going to go play, we just have to work harder. We have to shoot better. We have to play better. Get your energy up. If he's taking the ball that way, but it's tricky, you just go that way and trick him. Your body has to reflex the dunks, and then the dunks have to reflex your body.
I guarantee in 5 years that kid will have more knowledge about basketball than Darvin Ham. Guarantee you in 5 years.
What happened to all the goodwill Darvin had? I remember they hired him. It's like, oh man, he's a good guy.
He worked hard. Aaron was like, man, he worked hard. He was assistant coach for a long time.
I said it before.
He earned this.
No, remember what I said? I said when they hired him, I didn't say he was good. I said this. I said I like the fact they didn't bring a retread. That was my whole thing. Instead of them bringing some old ass retread that's been coaching a long time, I was happy they dipped and didn't get a retread.
Aaron over here running back to Roscoe Tires, like, give me a retread.
I wasn't happy. Then once we saw he couldn't coach, I was like, okay, just don't hang on to him for too long, right?
They should have Adrian Griffined him.
They should have, because you saw he couldn't coach early on.
Right. It just made his rotations was so terrible.
They were terrible.
I mean, they're playing the Denver Nuggets because he had a 9-game stretch where he didn't play his starters. He didn't believe in his starters.
Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell was on the bench for 9 games, and they lost all 9 of those.
Yeah, that was the time when I dropped D'Angelo Russell because they stopped starting.
Yeah, I know, and then I picked them up when he finally put them back in and rolled them out. But here's the crazy thing about that. He didn't play him those 9 games, right? He put him on the bench, him and Austin Reeves. Do you know the Lakers starting 5 was the lowest scoring starting 5 in the league, even lower than Detroit, who at that time only won 1 game.
He's trying to win 85, 84 type games.
He
with the old team.
self-fired himself. He self-fired himself when he after the All-Star break when they had Rui Hachimura and all them in the starting lineup, wasn't were they the best offense or the third best offense or something like that? Something crazy. Their starters was like it was something stupid. So I'm like, this dude self-fired himself. By chance of life, should have just kept it the same way and went home.
That was Drake's son, by the way, at his birthday party.
I noticed. I was like, it must be.
I'm glad I didn't notice, and I'm glad I don't know who Drake's son looked like. That even better for me.
But it was intriguing me. Phoenix is really surprising me now. But I said this in the beginning of the season, and we got it on tape. Said Phoenix needs a point guard. They don't have a point guard, and that's part of the problem.
Well, this Jared,
we
can see your screen.
Well, Jared just being a ragged
picture. I was just a little boy. How old were you? 20. I was the youngest person there. That nigga that cut your hair and give you no blend.
Shout out to our Boxing Podcast with Rick Ross.
That's hilarious. My thing about the playoffs is like, I say this all the time. Every year somebody has to win the championship. This is one of those years where Boston's going to win it, and they're going to play the worst version of every team.
The Pacers going up 3-1. They could make some noise.
The Pacers can make some noise.
No, here's the thing. They're playing the Bucks, though. They're playing the Bucks.
Giannis and Lillard. They playing the booze right now. They ain't got a CK or S on that. They missing letters and pieces.
The Knicks are up 3-1, but Embiid's been hurt. They had,
Hey, but I also think the Knicks might make some noise. I'm calling the Knicks in the finals already. They got the Villanova Magic. They got the 3 starting players from Villanova squad that won Natty championship. They got some magic behind them, man. They played up.
No.
You know what magic is? Everybody's hurt. Jim Butler's hurt.
They play well. The Knicks play well with those 3 because they played together.
Yeah, they play off each other. They
play off each other. So I think that's how that works.
And Brunson's taking his game to a level where he's just his touch and depth with the ball is really good, and he can even with his size, he knows how to find the angles to get his shot off. Yeah. Even if he's not the most athletic, not the fastest, not the biggest dude, right?
And he can get off against anybody. Big man, little man, anybody.
You can still make it hard for him. You can make him really work. So I'm not saying that he's unstoppable, but his skill set of hitting those shots is pretty uncanny. It reminds me a little bit of he's a less athletic, but and less cross you up version of what Kyrie is in a lot of ways when he gets to that mid range. And pivot game and just finding those shots and floaters and whatnot. So
I just want y'all to remind y'all that they're playing 76ers. I just want to say that.
And shout out to Joel Embiid, who's battling Bell's palsy right now. Part of his face is paralyzed or not moving properly. So.
No, dude, that part of his face looks like it ain't moving at all. He ain't blinking.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Yeah, so
I think those dudes won 2 national titles, man. They all played on the first championship team.
Mm-hmm.
Brunson and DiFrancesco were on both, along with Mikal Bridges.
They got some magic going with that Villanova style offense, and other than it's a team that it looks like it has a decently built out roster of players that can play various roles for them or play certain roles for them. And so you play good basketball defensively and on the perimeter with good communication, you can make some noise, man.
Hey, guess what? Julius Randle's hurt. I mean, I think my main point is like we're not seeing a high level of basketball across the league. We're not seeing
No, we're
everyone's
not. Thank you,
best
Brandon.
punch.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
all
you
I'm
for
saying.
saying that. That's all I want. You know what, Brandon? Can
That's
I
it.
say
Like
that?
it's cool that the games, some of the games like have been exciting. Most of the
Some of the games
games
been
not
entertaining, but
like we're not seeing like the team is wins just happened to win this year. I don't think we're going to see like some amazing year for basketball play.
Yeah,
I'm so happy to hear somebody finally admit some shit like that, and to be younger to admit that, Brandon. You made my day right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, NBA is like in a weird transition, right? You have a bunch of super young people, you got a bunch of really old people who are still like expected to play really well, and then you got a bunch of people that are just in the middle that just like that haven't won, mostly because Steph and like LeBron have been really good. So I feel like the league's in a transition period.
All right, well, let's get to Cuddy Corner shout-outs. Cuddy Corner shout-outs. Cuddy Corner shout-outs. Cuddy Corner shout-outs is the same way in the show where everyone gets a chance to rant, complain, or highlight something positive in the world. Cuddy Corner shout-outs. Cuddy Corner shout-outs. It's time. Cuddy Corner.
We're burning now. God, if you let it hell, so cold and bleeding now, now, now. I'm in with it, man. Gonna let you down. He had sex with my mama. We're broken people now. Like I said, I need a
Hey, Aaron, do you have a Cuddy Corner shout-out?
It was close to being Pedro after seeing what Jason Tatum mama looked like. It was close. Like, what the fuck, Pedro? You talking about? Maybe when she was young, yeah. But that, now, some people it's like fine wine and some don't.
Hey, well, I like him a little bit of age.
Yeah, it's some people like their cheeses to have age, but they do reach a point where they start souring.
Oh, I got an irregular internet about aged cheese. Y'all want to see it?
No, I'll definitely see that.
I was gonna say Pedro like girls with polio shots, but
I mean, she ain't. Don't get me wrong. She. I could see some attractiveness in her. I just didn't know that Pedro was doing all this talking about. I was suspecting something else. Let me just say that. I could see where people will find her attractive.
Is she like I met her at Home Depot sort of way?
It's one of those that you met her at Home Depot, you probably wouldn't even know that she at Home Depot with you, Brandon. Like she won't take your attention away from the DeWitt products.
That's what I like. I don't. Come on, I didn't just realize that. No, I don't like women that bring a whole bunch of attraction, but can be slightly attractive. Oh, okay, wait a minute. I did look at that young photo of her.
That's exactly. I told you he just saw the young photo.
Okay, I saw the young photo.
He saw the young photo. I'm like, look at the most recent one. Is the one right that second row, second picture. That's the most recent picture.
I mean, I still hit, but
not that one, Jared. Yeah, that one. That's the most recent picture. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this food, Pedro? Now, like, Pedro, you're an attractive man, you know.
Pedro, I like that you admitted it right away.
Yeah, and didn't waste it. Like I said, he was close to being my Cuddy Corner shout out after I looked this up.
I mean, I'll still.
That was Jared. He would argue.
I'll still be a regular.
He'll be arguing that he was right. You right. He right, Brandon. He'll be arguing this the whole Cuddy Corner. But my Cuddy Corner shout out goes out to Jared. It goes out to Jared. Jared, while on the phone with me, Jared usually calls me after work. We talk about the shit that happens after work, commiserate some things together, talk about what paperwork's due, whatever, blah, 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 what shit happened, what this and that. It's a good peer-to-peer, like we get to talk, like he give me some advice if I'm having something. Usually happens after work, right? When Jared's going home or Jared's on his way to the gym. So the conversation usually extends to him until he gets ready to start working out, right? He's talking about that. A week ago, a little over a week ago, maybe close to 2 weeks ago, I'm on the phone with Jared, and then I hear him get talked into one of the workers there to signing up for a raffle. Now, I understand Jared has won a raffle at his gym before, so he's like, she tips him with, he's won a couple. Did you win a couple raffles before, Jared?
Mm-mm.
You won one, right?
I ain't win shit, nigga. I don't know what you're talking about.
You never won a raffle? Well, somehow They tell him, "Oh, you can win a raffle for $100."
So they had a silent auction. I got some.
So you won the silent auction.
Jerry, you can't admit you won this raffle, man. You ain't do your taxes yet?
Well, let me tell you about the raffle,
shit, you
man.
won.
$100 he wins, right? But in order for him to be signed up for it, he has to give him a friend with their phone number. Jared proceeds to give them my number and name as I'm on the phone with him.
Thank you for picking Eric.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, Jerry? I don't think you realize this. You realize you can go through your phone and give them the names of the people you don't even talk to no more, or don't even care about talking to no more.
Right. Somebody bought something off Facebook Marketplace.
You know, I go straight and be like, "Oh yeah, this is my cousin Spam." You give him the number that come up for the show for Spam. You could have been entering. That's my cousin Spam right here. Yeah, go ahead and call him. He said he needs to work out. He a borderline diabetic. You can tell him anything, but no, Jared gives them my name while I'm on the phone with him. Thank you, Jared. Now I got someone calling me. I don't even go. You know what? I don't feel guilty, but already, paying for a gym I ain't going to enough, or definitely on my own gym.
Just trying to get you motivated to get out there.
Let me tell you, they called the first day. Now, mind you, it's nighttime when Jared go to gym. They called me that night to set up an appointment. They're like, "Oh, yeah, you've been signed up from a friend of yours. You get a free pass, 7-day free pass. Just come in and talk to us." I was like, "Well, give me the 7-day pass." I missed the appointment to talk to them. They have called every day since. Every day. And then here's the crazy thing. It don't even come up as City Sports. It comes up from the ownership group. That's LA Fitness, dude. Amen. I ain't never been more mad at Jared for giving out but Jared, don't worry, Jared. You lucky that that the A's are leaving, and I don't want to go to any game because I will sign you up so I get me one of them free blankets.
I had your consent.
Yeah, he did ask me. No, you didn't ask me consent.
Yeah, I did.
You said, "What was your phone number, Aaron?" That's what he said. Aaron,
I said, "Well, write you down on this raffle. They're gonna call you."
After you already gave him the number. And I said, "Jared, I don't even go to the gym that I pay for. How the hell am I gonna go to another one?"
Yeah, they get you a free pass. You gotta come to the gym, man. You can see some new trim.
That is true. That is true. And you did use the right term from my agent self, trim.
New trim.
Taco Pablo. Do you have a Cuddy Corner shout out?
I got a couple short ones, man. My Cuddy Corner shout out goes out to people at concerts who didn't pay for floor seats, but still insist on standing up. Like, you go to a concert, you down the first level, you stand up. Okay, all right, cool. You close to the stage, you stand up. That's what's up. If I'm on the second level and there's all these seats here, I don't feel like standing up for 2 hours because you decided that you need to stand up and not see any closer. Like, sit down, please. Like, we don't all need to be seeing the back of your head.
What concert was this?
And I'm generally mindful. Well, I'll say in a second. I'm generally mindful of this because I'm a tall person. I try to, like, if there's like just a crowd of people, I try to stand closer to the back. Now, not closer to the back for the people who didn't get there on time, but close to the back for people who were there at a reasonable hour. Like, okay, cool, man.
You're like a sedimentary layer of
exactly
how the crowd.
I showed up where I know I could see, but if you got here late, SOL. That's all I'm saying. So we're at the Carolina Theater. There was like a local artist doing their thing, and I was like, "Yeah, I want to support local artists." Like the floor seats were just what now I'm going to pay for somebody I don't own a record to. But I was like, "Here we go, the second floor, whatever." Yeah, this motherfucker just decided to stand up 2 rows in front of us, and I'm like. Like, is he trying to get somebody's attention? Like, this motherfucker's just standing here. Like, I know it's a concert, but I gotta know it. But anyway, that is my Cuddy Corner shout out. Also, anybody who says breaky or brecky
instead of breakfast.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know what the hell you were just talking
it's a very
about.
Anglo term. Don't worry, I know Brandon. I've seen it. Brandon returned from Iowa, and he hates Brecky. Surprise, surprise.
I hate it so much. And it makes me feel like Yeah, it's like, is that how white people look at us when we use slang terms? Like, I'm like, it just hurts my ears a little bit.
Yes, exactly.
You're being so dumb right now.
The fuck is wrong with y'all? Pietro, do you have a Cuddy Corner shout out?
Yeah. I know the NFL is into breeding, right?
What?
Okay. You get the strongest, biggest Negroes you can find, right?
I don't mean they're breeding them now.
I think they are breeding them. I think they're breeding them, and I think they got a new way of breeding.
They're getting them some new niggas.
I just sent you and Brandon, Jarrett and Brandon. I just sent them something on Instagram.
You said Taco Pablo something. Brandon's
Brandon ain't here. We know Taco Pablo
here, man.
Picture of a quarterback, the Carolina quarterback, Spencer Rattler. Okay, I watched him play this year.
He didn't play well.
He didn't. But this came out. I have to give this to give the credit to Ghetto Grump, I guess on Twitter or X. He said Spencer Rattler looks like the actor that would play Patrick Mahomes in the movie about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. That was hilarious.
The movie about Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
That
That was hilarious. Okay. Okay. But I was looking at the quarterbacks like I brought up earlier. We got Daniels. What's his name? The second round pick. Yeah, Dane Daniels. We got Michael Penix Jr., who's also mixed.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
I'm joking about Michael Penix Jr., but there's a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of special talent. Caleb Williams, this cat, Spencer Rattler. You got your boy down there in Atlanta. I noticed a pattern. I noticed there was some crossbreeding going on here. And I'm starting to think they started to crossbreed with Josh Allen. And,
just to clarify, when Pedro says crossbreeding, he means variations of skin tone and blackness.
Yeah, no, I mean white with white men's.
I have to turn off my camera now.
And white women's breeding with BBCs and BBWs. Okay? Y'all doing this so
hold on, man. Michael Penix Jr. is 100% black, man.
I know. That was part of the joke.
Oh.
But it seems like everybody's trying to come out with their own Patrick Mahomes. Justin Fields, CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud's full black too, but he looks like he could have a white mother. I'm seeing a pattern here. It's a whole bunch of crossbreeding going on. Y'all, it's already breeding big Negroes down in the South with cousin Jed. Y'all is finding people with the same baby daddies down in the South, crossbreeding them into ghetto lifestyles so they can be hard enough for the NFL. Now y'all doing it the opposite way and breeding the white smart brain with the black athletic brain. I see what you're doing.
Where these niggas rationing out dick all around the world.
Way too many mixed quarterbacks out here. It's a lot of mixed people on the edges too. Like the wide receivers are mixed. Just the people that have to do all the thinking. It's a lot of smart, a lot of breeding going on around here.
What?
Okay, I see what's going on. Y'all trying to get the athlete mixed. I see what's going on in the NFL. You're not slick. We catching you. Stop doing this. Stop blatantly doing this racism. You said end racism in the end zone, and you're just using it as an excuse to breed with the Caucasian race, whether it be white female or white male. It doesn't matter. I see what you're doing.
Shout out to Pedro for stretching the content of the show. The place we know to go.
In the racism, all right. In the racism,
I did that. Now I did see. So I did. So this guy on TikTok did a whole series or whatever about how hard it is to make it to play a professional sport like basketball, football, baseball, and like for an athlete in America to make it to the league, like it is breeding. Like you have to have somebody in your family tree, that has done it before. Like has made it like has we played at a super high level collegiately or made it actually professional. Like you look at all the kids who got drafted. Look at all the kids who are like the top ranked players in every sport. Like all the my uncle was an NBA player, or my dad was an NBA player, or my cousin. Like somebody close to your genetic family had to be like an elite athlete for you to make it to the league. At least in America, like other countries, like don't have like the sports sort of lineage like sort of dialed in the way we do. But like I think it's like.
Well, other countries, they sport don't count on a lot of athletic ability. I'll be honest, soccer.
For sure, like
you have some athletes, but it's not like what our sports.
Yeah. I was thinking of somebody like Francis Ngannou or like Giannis, who like somebody like they're not growing up playing basketball, they're not growing up playing football or fighting or whatever, but it just sort of like comes out. But yeah, if you're an American athlete and you don't have somebody in your family tree that's a professional athlete, like the chance of you ever getting there is like super slim. So I was just saying that's more of a G-rated version of what Pedro's saying.
Stop breeding white women's with black men's and creating these smart hybrid gorilla-looking niggas.
Quarterbacks.
You saying Lamar Jackson can't think out there, Pedro?
Well, we see what happened in the championship game, didn't we?
Damn, he just lost. I mean, everybody lose.
Not like that. That nigga threw in a triple coverage.
Hey, man,
that's that dark-skinned nigga coming out.
We've seen Brett Favre do that a lot.
He's also a nigga.
In other news, Meg the Stallion is being sued by an ex-employee who claims she had sex with a woman's in front of him. What do you guys think about that?
Shout out. The thing I think about is like what happened before he decided to sue, because they're like suing somebody is not like a very direct thing. Like I'm sure this person did have a lawyer or retainer. They'd be like, hey man, I've got this thing I'm gonna run by you today. Like this person there were several steps before this. Like either you contacted her, was like, I was really uncomfortable with that thing you did. Can I get a raise?
My question is this, Brandon, how is he gonna sue for things that most of us pay for to watch?
Right. Or like did he feel like he couldn't leave? Like what's really happening? Like just leave the room if you're not interested. Or he tried to join in and got turned down. I'm not sure.
Now it's one thing if they were at work, but if they're in the hotel room after hours, were they in the VIP section, the champagne room? What?
Yeah.
Much misinformation, too much unknown there, Jared.
Well, one part they said it was in the back seat of the car, right?
Backseat of my Jeep?
And he couldn't get out because the vehicle was moving or something. I actually read this on CBS News. And then the first thing I thought was, oh, Mo.
Instead of capital H, is that all caps? It was just a capital H.
Just homo. I didn't get it. You got Meg the Stallion butt naked making love to a woman in the backseat.
Yeah, apparently it was in Ibiza. Wait, is it Ibiza? Yeah. Ibiza, Spain.
Yeah. We talking about Meg the Stallion. We're not talking about Lizzo here.
Right.
That part.
Now, if it was Lizzo, yeah, I'm all with him. Call the police.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to see that.
You're right.
Yeah, so speaking up for the little guy, he also claimed that she berated him and fat shamed him, calling him a fat bitch and other things.
I'm not denying that probably didn't happen, but
I want to. This Megan Thee Stallion has a lot of things happen in her car. She done got shot in the foot. She done had sex with a woman. Megan Thee Stallion? Can you do regular? Have you tried regular, Meg?
Regular car rides?
Exactly. Just regular car rides. What's wrong with that? Nobody's in the car with a pistol, a loaded pistol, and nobody's in the car with a nice, sexy woman that is butt naked that you want to lick up and down. Okay? Just regular, all right?
That's hilarious.
Shout out to Meg Thee Stallion. Thanks for, another beacon of positivity.
How about just hopping in a Toyota Camry and going where you need to go, Meg Thee Stallion?
Right.
Stay out the limos, Cadillacs, limos. Sit in the front seat. Matter of fact, just drive. Just drive, man.
Well, I was
FaceTiming people if you don't talk to them.
Yeah, I was wondering maybe he was just mad because they started getting a regular, and he thought, oh man, maybe they're gonna invite me in. And they didn't, and he got real awkward because of it. And then
that's exactly what happened, Jared. I know exactly what happened. I've been in one of those situations before. I know that's exactly what happened. You off on the side pulling the rope. You thinking you're gonna be a part of something? You off on the side pulling rope. And there's two ways of handling it. You either stay there and just say, hey, you know what, I get a good show out of it and do whatever I got to do. Or you do what this dude do and complain about it. You keep that. There's three ways. You can also just stay there, just watch it, and then lie to people like you took part in it. And that's probably what happened. The third thing, he lied to people and then got caught.
Yeah.
Well, it says there is multiple women in there too. I think so. It's him and 4 women. 2 got a regular. He thought, man, I might be part of the fan van experience or something.
Right. It's like they know I'm here, right?
I ain't gonna go to that weak ass fan van experience. All things, Jared.
I'm in the fan Escalade experience.
You can say bus, but you gonna say fan.
It's all over everyone's feeds.